Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the show that answers the question why will Indian get arrested? Today we are discussing the Kerala story. Ladies, gentlemen, and bees, how are you doing on this fucking Thursday? Again, why did I curse? This is why we are shadow banned most of the day. Jesus. So, how is it going, guys? Let me just tell people that we are live. Perfect. Also, Arc, the thing that I'm talking about is that with Marathi very specifically, are you still here? Archibald Bishop. Also, I think if people, the option. So with Marathi, when it comes to genders, there's a lot more going into mouthfeel, like how you say, like I don't know, give me a good Marathi word. See, I can't fucking remember Marathi words out of the blue when I'm doing English. Why does my voice sound so harsh? Hold on. Okay, still not better, but fine, whatever. Marathi word. Why do all the Marathi words that I can think of are English? Why? Also, guys, can you move to YouTube? I think Shabda. Okay. तो शब्द का ती शब्द त्या शब्दाला वापरा. Like Shabda sounds more like gender neutral, to be honest with me. Give me a gendered one, man. What is like Manus? Yeah, to shabda I understand, but shabda sounds more gender neutral. Like Manus, for example, Manus is like to Manus. Manus just sounds harsher in your mouth than bai. That's why, and whenever you say even bai Manus, you soften even the Manus at the end. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like when you are doing gendering in Marathi, this is what actually helped with me. Like when you need to be gendering it the way it sounds to you and it feels in your mouth. And if it feels masculine, it's masculine. If it feels feminine, it's feminine. Like you will, I think you'll get a success rate of like, out of this, which is huge for like 3 current genders in Marathi language. Also, guys, if you can, yeah, it's Baba Kiki effect. Yeah, exactly. That is what Marathi is. You know, I got Baba and Kiki wrong when I first heard about it. This is very fucking weird, I know. I was like, ho hi nahi sakta. Also, guys, if possible, move to YouTube. YouTube, everything is like, all of the people I know have moved to Twitch. That's why YouTube is suffering, and YouTube is our normie outlet. I don't think Twitch has our like too much normie people. Anyway, the conversation dies down eventually. Anyway, forget about it. The point that I'm trying to make here is we're talking about a Kerala story for one. We need to discuss a few things before. First of all, we had an entire war on Discord. So if you want to be part of the fun, please do join. The other thing that we are going to discuss, that we have to discuss, is like background. I need your opinions on what to actually get. Right now, the idea is to get a neon sign. Which sign, what sign is on you? So I leave that to you. Like, do you want an on-air one in the back? Do you want like live one or whatever? We need to get like better background decoration. So I leave that to you. I think I'm ready to buy one at this point. something that should be available. I wanted to get one that was like custom made, but yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Yeah, please do move to YouTube if you can. We need the help over there. We recently were shadow banned, like search banned at least. Like we still are getting recommended, quote unquote, but because of the because everyone is on Twitch, it ends up being that YouTube is like, no, fuck off, this doesn't work for you. That's why we end up getting like shat on. And like because all of the like normie audience, at least like in India, is on YouTube. Like we are not going to find people on Twitch, the ones that we want to find. YouTube is more accessible, so I think YouTube should be better. Like rather than dividing the okay. So thank you guys for coming on. Um, did Eric just disappear after after he was done? Jesus Christ. I cannot keep Ark on chat for like 5 seconds. Yeah, the delay is quite a lot. It's like a few seconds. It's very shit. Yeah. See, YouTube is not hey. YouTube is not good for like live chatting, but that's all where the normies are. I don't know what to do. Like I don't think there's a way to get like more immediate response from people. Which is I have tried changing the server. We are on low whatever it's called, like low YouTube whatever, and it just low as fuck. It's also very hard to like go back and check who has texted what. I can't even bring chat up properly. YouTube is fucking shit for live streaming, but again, India being India, not many people have Twitch, and we suffer on both sides either way. Like I understand we are never going to, like the goal isn't to monetize, but like looking at the statistics of monetization, I'm just like, fuck. It is fuck all. Not anytime soon, buddy. Not anytime soon. Anyway, on that still note, I'm still so if you're on Discord right now, please join Discord if you want to be part of this. Again, I'm still saying please join Discord if you want to be part of it. I need, like, give me recommendations for what you see at the back. Like what? Hold on, let me just switch off the text here for a second. Yeah, so you see the images over there, both are going to be replaced. One of them is going to staying because that Bob made that. And in place of that image, it's going to be replaced by the naked lady. And the naked lady will be somewhere else. But this image at the back is going to be replaced by a sign. I want to know what sign do you want there to be? Yeah, air live verse, that is like the most basic thing I was thinking of, to be honest with you. That, or I just want like the Papaksh logo to be there. I'm looking for it, but it seems to be extremely expensive to make one. So maybe like I can make one at home, arts and craft shit. We'll see. Also on Sunday, do you guys want a live with me singing? I am part of a concert. I will be live doing a live concert. Me singing basically. Hey Batman, how's it going? So when I'm singing, do you want me to stream it live to you when I am singing, or do you want me to post a video of it later? Neither of it is going to be edited, just to be clear. So, oh Jesus, the chat is way too fucked. I don't know how do people. Yes, okay, fine. Live it is. I don't know how do people do this live on YouTube. So on. Okay, I'm just quickly checking. There is not even responses. Yeah, fuck it. There is literally nothing on the live chat. I'm trying to fix the live chat feature. Live again. The topic has it, but fine. Like it's so shit, guys. I don't like. So live streaming. Is the quality fine for you? Okay. No, I don't know my own con. Damn it. I wonder how this is fixed. I genuinely wonder how this is fixed. Because like this is a issue. I don't know how people do it because there's no one to teach you, to be completely honest with you. And everything that they tell is either wrong or stupid. Languages, community, analytics, and like I am so fucking surprised by the fact that that is too strict. I don't know what you mean by that. This is YouTube. Like we are on ultra low latency, by the way. And yet the chat is slow. Also, leave a like. I can see people are not leaving likes. Yeah. Fuck it. YouTube is YouTube. We have to grow on YouTube. That's the problem, guys. Why isn't there no Twitch for Indians? Hey, hey. No, no, no. Kalilogy, the chat on YouTube is slow. The chat on there's no glitch. There's no glitch. The chat on Twitch is fine. The chat on YouTube is extremely slow. Like extremely. Like I say something like say like type 1 or something. It will come in like 3 minutes. That's the problem. Twitch chat is like immediate. No, no, see that. See again, that is what I'm saying. Don't type it. I know how slow it is. See, that's what I mean. But thank you. Also, I don't know if you have checked Discord, Kaliology. We had a whole shit today about talking about the aspects of morality. If you want to be part of that. Also, guys, if you're new here, please do like, share, and subscribe. And please chat. Go on chat. It's fine. We are talking about Kashmir files and the apparent preparedness of Indians to slaughter Muslims. Like they're trying to prepare. Like look at Gramsci's Marxism. They're trying to create a cultural hegemony for it to be allowable for the public to actually go and slaughter Muslims. This is very similar to what Israel has been doing with Gaza for a very long time, by the way. That's why when you talk about Gazans and when you talk about Israelis, Israelis always want to kill Gazans. And they'll speak to them as in as much dehumanizing fashion as possible. And like the Kerala story is part of that effort. And again, this is a problem. Yeah, Kerala story too. We are still doing it. Like I understand, like you wanted me to do the rapper versus rapper as well, but the reason why we're doing it is because it goes towards a bigger plot that has been going on within the Indian subcontinent. So we are going to start by that. Like we're just going to start propaganda uncomfortable through, like it is propaganda, obviously. Like it is propaganda as fuck. Okay, so let's just watch.
As the Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has sharply criticized the upcoming Hindi film The Kerala Story 2.
What people don't understand in this scenario is that movies are an important part since the beginning of movies, and before it was books, then before it was stories told, are an important part of creating a cultural hegemony within a certain group of people to gain permissibility for an idea that you're perpetuating. Simply put, movies determine what a political party will be allowed to do within the country because they are the best sources of propaganda in the Marxist sense. And hence, what ends up happening is that when you have a right-wing government who's hell-bent of creating a situation that they can allow the indiscriminate discrimination towards a certain minority group, like in this scenario, Muslims, they will have movies like the Kerala story. They will have movies like Dhurandhar. They will have movies in the same line as such. So to create animosity between the normie public, to make it easier for them to do basically a genocide if possible. And people will look at it like, oh, but I saw in Kerala story that Muslims are a problem, so this is okay. That's what they'll think internally because they have been conditioned into thinking that. That's why they do all of this bullshit.
Who goes beyond branding its trailer and narrative as, quote, poisonous creations that aim to spread hatred and also go ahead and undermine the secular fabric and communal harmony of the state. Vijayan has also argued that the film appears to revive divisive themes from its predecessor and could portray consensual social interactions as communal or coercive, thereby misrepresenting the state's tradition of mutual respect among communities. Opponents of the Chief Minister's stance contend that such films fall within the creative and cinematic freedom and that public criticism by political leaders risks veering into prejudged.
Yes, I can't react to the trailer now, can I? The trailer, if I want to react to, it's going to be an issue mostly because YouTube has copyright laws against all of that. I can do it when it's muted, but a lot of the jibby-jabby is in talking form. That is the problem. I can create a video where we watch it together, but I have to make sure that neither the sound coming from the trailer is very audible or the videos are inverted. That's the problem. Plus, for a fact, a negative reaction to the video is going to be a huge issue. See, we can try, but that would be like Twitch only. Twitch is the only platform that does not have a problem with it. YouTube does. YouTube has a huge problem with it. They were claiming Witcher, and Witcher is like the most permissible game to play on stream. Anyway, so the thing that I was saying about was If you are on X, please go reshare the announcement. Please share the announcement every place that you can. We are already kind of shadow banned, like half of the shit we are shadow banned on stream. I am not joking. You can go check yourself. There are YouTube testers. Just put the name of the channel there. You'll see that we are on the very high risk of it. Plus, we are not being shown in search. So please reshare YouTube. Resharing YouTube is extremely important. Oh, that's so sweet. Thanks. I was talking also about like Twitter and shit. We need to reach far more people overall. Anyway, but thank you so much.
Or intimidation of artistic expression. Now, amid all this, a petition has been filed before the Kerala High Court seeking cancellation of the film certification and also demanding a stay on its release. So we are asking today, at a time when Kerala is heading into a crucial election and political voices are intensely critical of media narratives, does the sharp public and political backlash against the Kerala story too reflect genuine concern over communal harmony and social impact, or does it signal that cinema has become yet another battleground in electoral politics? So here's the big question, the Kerala story and that propaganda, or is it the truth? That is what we are going and trying to assess today.
Again, just to be clear, usage of women for propagandizing, it's an old fascist tradition. This can be seen within Israel pushing for like, oh, look at our women in soldier attire, like looking like really tight pants, asses out, or like look at, or them saying, look at now women in Gaza. Like women are used for propaganda this way. Here, the depiction of 3 women saying Hindus because of the tika in a Muslim attire is with fear in their eyes and like whatever bruising or whatever they're showing over there is to make you feel bad about these women and saying that, oh, look how they were deceived. It's in Kerala, it's Muslims, it's this, just to create animosity. This rarely ever happens, by the way, in real life. And you know, in India, specifically speaking, India is one of those countries that are extremely unsafe for women. It doesn't matter what religion a man is, because men have traditionally, in India, oppressed women to the maximum capacity. We have seen, like, this movie is literally no different, beat by beat, than what was the movie from Ranbir Kapoor, where like Animal, for example. See, this movie is no different than Animal, beat by beat. Yeah, Animal. It's a harassment of a woman into religious or whatever sense. But there he was shown to be like the hero because Hindu. Here it is the villain because Muslim. That is the idea. That's why like these kind of movies are used to sell a narrative. These are not used like to inform on reality. Their entire thesis on this, even when they're arguing, is like, oh, this is just whatever. This is just, hold on, who's this? Most sexual offenders in my country is of different nationality and Muslims. I would say really, they are not. They're Hindus, guy. Hindu man. They're completely Hindus. What are you talking about? Anyway, so they are trying to show you like the scenario where there is like 2 different see, I don't know which country you're. This is an Indian focused Twitch, man. Oh, Sweden. Oh, dude. Sweden, it's white people. It's Christians. What are you talking about? Are you stupid? My guy, Sweden, like, it's Swedes who do most of that. Are you generally stupid? Y'all think I don't know about fucking Sweden and you can come here and shit about it? Your name is Twitch Rebate. Come on. Like, do you really think I'm gonna accept bullshit like that? I thought you were being like, oh, it is maybe, I don't know, Indonesia and you were like a Chinese supremacist or something. So fucking weird. You think do you know how many Muslims are there in Sweden and how many, let's say, sexual offenses are carried out in Sweden? Because I do. And I have known people from Sweden. I have been to Sweden. One of my best friends is from Sweden and he says shit like that because he's all into all of that right-wing propagandizing that they do in Sweden against Muslims. Jesus, your guys are fucking stupid. You really want anyone to believe that Sweden has a problem with Muslims? Fucking hell, how do you think I have no fucking clue? You're the one who's coming here saying like, oh, sexual offenses in my country are of different nationality and Muslims. Come on. That is the most stupid thing I've ever heard. Actually, no, I've heard stupider things. I have spoken to Sangis. Welcome. You have zero clue. You have made a claim that religion has nothing to do with it. Religion has nothing to do with it because it's a patriarchy thing. Do you think white people are not part of the problem here? Are you that stupid? Brother, you want to claim that this is such a big issue that religion is not a problem, but in Scandinavia, in Eastern Europe, in Western Europe, in even if you don't want to consider it Europe, but let's say have Russia or let's say UK, who do you think the primary sexual offender is? Dude, most sexual offenders in Sweden are Swedish. Are you stupid? Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Talking about sexual offenders in Sweden. Like, next level stupidity coming out of your ass, man. Think you're stupid and trying to be a lot smarter than you actually are? Well, your name is Twitch Turbate. That is all, like, that's your smartness right there. Yeah, Prince Andrew got arrested recently for sexual violences against children. Wasn't it like the Swedish princess that was in the Epstein files, if I'm not wrong, or was it Danish? Either way, it doesn't matter. White people. Yeah, I am. Hold on. Yeah, idiots name yours. Idiot people are named like that. Hold on. Also, you have to understand, you fucking idiot. I don't think you know how Swedish law itself works. Yeah, so my mod is basically sending me shit that you might be talking about. Just to reply to her, yes, I know this is what, because that's like a very old talking point of like white nationalists in Sweden. Like, look at the rape law or whatever, and what is this going on, and how many people are convicted, this and that. Dude, shut the fuck up. Like, shut the fuck up. I know what I'm talking about. You are just here chirping for no reason. Come on fucking Twitch, have a show, then talk about if whatever you're doing. Then talk to me about it. You're a fucking idiot if you think that I am going to entertain your ass for even 5 minutes longer. shut the fuck up. Because you are fucking wrong. You have no idea what you're talking about. You read one news article without looking 5 minutes into how that news has been written or curated. I fucking live here as well. You do realize that. These fucking idiots. Yeah, dude, I have an extremely big ego, and that's why you are getting timed out. So shut the fuck up, because now you're annoying. Because again, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. You want to rage bet? Rage bet. Go on. Rage bet to a server that you cannot text on. Anyway, we're talking about the polarization.
കേരള സ്റ്റോറിയുടെ രണ്ടാം ഭാഗം എന്നുള്ള നിലയിൽ ഒരു ചില ഭാഗങ്ങൾ ഇവിടെ കേരളത്തിൽ പ്രദർശിപ്പിച്ചായി നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി കഴിയുന്നു.
Moving on, can this actually start something?
Criticism that has been reserved for your film, the second installment, the chief minister of the state on which this film is based on, he has gone on record and he's called this entire film a propaganda. How do you react, sir?
This is a propaganda, just to be very clear with you. The reason why this is a propaganda is because it was made as a fucking propaganda film. Kerala Story 1 was also made as a propaganda film. They fact-checked the film. There were like 4 cases of this. And in the first film, they kill like hundreds and thousands of women are getting like abducted, while completely ignoring the fact that hundreds and thousands of women get raped, assaulted, abused in India by Hindu men. This is how they're creating this narrative here.
I would like to request the Chief Minister of Kerala to accept the truth and just check the facts. This kind of cases are happening all over the country. This is a conspiracy against the country, and we need to address it as a filmmaker. Our duty is to bring out the truth of the society into our films so that society is sensitized. Do you want our daughters, our sisters to be scammed? Do you want our daughters to be killed? Do you want...
So let them not marry Hindu men. That is the whole point. If you want to make that film, because you are more or less... What you're basically saying here is, if you don't want to be scammed, if you don't want your daughters to be harassed or raped or whatever, you have to get... So rather than getting away from the biggest killer of women in India, men, Hindu men, that you have to make a movie about Muslims in Kerala. If you are serious about this, talk about this seriously.
Want our daughters to be confined in rooms? Do you want our daughters to be used as a tool to change the demography of this country? No.
There is no fucking demographic change in India. God fucking damn it. There are so many Hindus in India that you like... The majority of the population is never going to be Muslim in India at all, ever. These guys are fucking just lying to you on this.
Nationalist, as a person who loves our country, I would not want to do this. And that is why we made this film.
Mr. Singh, I really want to understand from you, there's a direct charge that's coming in against you that this is a propaganda film.
Yeah, ये profit लेके विदेश भागने वाला है. This guy is not staying here after this movie ends. Like after this movie is going to happen, he's just going to take the profit and leave. That is what these guys do anyway. These guys are fucking idiots.
He also goes on to say that this is targeting a particular community and it will disrupt the harmony that the state of Kerala really stands for. How do you respond to
this?
These
This is
specific
done to win the election, guys, by the way. They're trying to... What is the movie about? Is it propaganda? Yes, it is propaganda. It is pure propaganda. This is called Kerala Story 2. It is about... They have this inherent propaganda within India that Muslims are bad, Hindus are good. This is basically like Muslims are stealing your women. Also, hi Valiant Wiz. Please do like, subscribe if you can. If you like the stream, if you like hearing me, we do streams every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday. Thank you so much for coming. Why would you say Dhurandhar is also propaganda? I would say Dhurandhar is also propaganda because it is. It really is just propaganda. Like, it is a propaganda film at the end of the day. Also because, okay, anti-Muslim sentiment goes through and through. The entirety of the plot stands on like this person saying that, oh my God, this current government, which then was Congress, is not good. So we are going to basically commit treason against the country by not informing the country that there is some issue that is going on. That's why it is propaganda. It is propaganda because it was made as one. Like, just go watch it. Do you think if you feel good about, if you just watch it for the movie and you're like, oh, it has no bearings on my worldview later on about how Muslims and Hindus are, then fine. If you feel like, oh, Muslims bad, Hindus good, then that is a propaganda movie. It has quite for a long time stopped being about like shitting on Pakistan, which, being Indian, fair. If you want to do it, do it. It is your matter, not mine. But at the end of the day, like when you start shitting on Muslims specifically rather than shitting on, like, say, Pakistanis, that gets into the propaganda spectrum. Because there is such thing as an Indian Muslim at the end of the day. Also, please do subscribe if you can and if you like this.
Sir.
I just told you. Maybe the chat is late. That is the same issue. Like, if you have a movie like Dhurandhar, that is what I'm saying. If you have a movie like Dhurandhar, it is specifically targeting Muslims irrespective of, say, nationality, or like if they're targeting a certain religion instead of like the actual bad guys and why the bad guys are bad. That's why it is a propaganda. Like, again, as Batman says, Ek din aisi sarkar aayegi is also bad. It is to be like, oh no, Congress was bad, BJP is good, Modi is like the son of Gujarat or whatever. The fuck? That's why we are going to do treason and not inform our superiors that there is shit going on. Like, do you realize that like the entire plot line is there? Like, we will not inform the government that there is shit, anti-India shit going on. And we are going to wait for a person. I'm sure, dude, I haven't watched the Dhruv Rathi video. I'm sorry to say, I don't watch Dhruv Rathi. Like, all props to him. I have not watched a single of his video. I do, like, whatever he's doing is fine, well and good. I have no hate for that person. But I will assure you that when I watch his videos, I don't like the energy or like the whatever. So I just generally don't. I have people on the Discord right now telling me, I have people in the Discord right now telling me that, oh, like you should watch this Dhruv Rathi video, this Dhruv Rathi video. I just can't do it. One question, yeah, I can have watched the movie. I watched it once though. It was kind of boring, to be honest with you. I'm not really into the let's be a macho man, fighty, shooty kind of a movie, or like even like a spy film that it's supposed to be. But it has like really stupid dialogue. It bored the fuck out of me. Hold on. Bliss is saying, why would you even put down Pakistan is wrong, emo? Just Indian Muslims, but avoid any media that targets anyone regardless of religion. Exactly that. My argument on that kind of a thing is like they needed a bad guy. So like rather than having the bad guy in an entire religion, have a bad guy in a nation if you want. It is still bad. Like, you don't need any of this to make a good movie, but they chose it. Fine. Indian old ass movies are based on hating on Pakistan. I personally don't like it. I have met really amazing Pakistanis in my life, but that's me. So they could have just being like, this is an XYZ other country or whatever. Because this was not historical, right? Dhurandhar wasn't like a historical narrative. If it was, they should find the person who's like, who's the basis of the lead and put him in jail for treason. Because that's basically treason. Also, War is bad, there is your villain, conflict is bad, national. Yeah, but these people don't know how to make a movie. They need something. That's why. That's all there is to it. Valiant Wiz, I hope you got your answer. If you're still here, I can never tell. I don't know about Kerala story, but Dhurandhar, I've seen terrorist attacks happen and all of the characters' deaths and personally was spot on real. That is not the point. The point isn't like personality was spot on, whatever. The point is, at the end of the movie, did you feel bad about Pakistanis or did you feel bad about Muslims? Because there's such thing as Indian Muslims. That's the most basic way I can explain this to you. I understand that you reserve the right to hate whoever you want, but Indian Muslims are a thing and you should not be hating them because Muslims. I feel hateful about terrorists. Who do you associate as terrorists now? After the movie. Indian nationalism is playing anthem in theaters, yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Chaturbet, fuck off. Whatever you're talking about here, I understand. You got that information from somewhere. I know where you got it from, and that is fucking wrong. Just fuck off. I feel hateful about terrorists. What terrorists are we talking about here? Yeah, exactly. Sasta bond would be jail for holding information from the government. Yeah, his son is doing business with Pakistani people. Yeah, Batman, that is true. The fact that you have to come here and talk about Lund's University to a bunch of Indians who speak Hindi, my friend, you have zero clue. And I'm not going to dox myself to prove you wrong. You have no fucking clue who you're talking to, my friend. Who you... Bro, you have no fucking clue. Anyway, just came here, don't know about beef, but love parota with sahi paneer. Oh, lol. I don't know what beef is this talking about. I don't know. Picture bet, you done? Because fucking idiot. I'm not going to entertain you. I am doing a show about India. You want to talk about Sweden? Do a show about Sweden. But take it from me. Sweden, the 58% that you're mentioning is not an actual statistic. It's not news. That was not actual real news. I have seen that news article. I have read that news article. I am not, and listen to me, talking about Sweden. I am not going to start talking about Sweden at any time soon. Fine, whatever. I'm not going to let you rage bait me into this. If Dhurandhar would have been propaganda, it wouldn't have been fourth successful highest grossing movie. My guy, do you think propaganda movies don't succeed? Like, do you really think propaganda movies don't succeed? Like, nobody's questioning if Dhurandhar was not a success. But Dhurandhar was still a propaganda movie. That is the point. Border. By that logic. Dhurandhar, for one. Then, what was that movie earlier? Jesus, what was this? Kashmir Files was quite famous as well. Propaganda movies are extremely famous in India. Extremely. Especially anti-Muslim propaganda movies are famous in India. Like, not even joking. Yeah, man, true. Out of all South Indians are right and everyone who's going... No. Whiz. I'm not saying everyone is a hard R. No, that is not what is going on. This is a concerted effort to get people to be propagandized. It's to get people to hate Muslims. Now, everyone going to the theaters is not an hard R. Again, I have to stop myself from saying some words. They are doing this on purpose. Yeah, to hate on Muslims, yeah. These movies are extremely purposeful. I just want you to see that. I'm not saying these are like Dhurandhar is a badly made movie. I personally did not like it, but my choice in movies is comedies. I like my comedies. But that is not the point here. The point here is that Dhurandhar is a propagandizing movie for the public. It is well made. It is well made and it is worth the watch for people who would like to watch this movie. But the message that it sends is propagandizing. Similarly, Kerala Story might fail, Kerala Story might not fail. But it is a very straightforward propagandizing movie. That is the difference. That is what I'm trying to tell you here. Whether a movie is good or bad, like as a visual and a sound-based thing, is completely different. No, see, which one? Okay, you are saying it is anti-terrorist, right? Dhurandhar. If you come out of the movie thinking terrorism is bad, that is good. If you come out of the movie thinking Muslims are bad and because they are always terrorists, no, dude, I am not a conservative. I don't agree with any of that myself. See, my friend, do you not see what is happening in India right now? When you talk about terrorism in India, everyone keeps screaming Muslims. Like this Twitch through bait is just saying the same shit again. Like, that is the problem. Indian Muslims are not terrorists. But when you have a movie like Dhurandhar, who constantly pushes at the knob that terrorists and Muslims are the same thing, that puts a target on the back of Indian Muslims. I need you to understand that. At least acknowledge that fact, even if you, like, tomorrow you might go to an RSS rally. Fine. I'm not focused on that right now. Yeah, 21, for example. 21 was humanizing people. It was a good movie. It was not propaganda movie. Kind of failed. See, 98% Muslims, and I understand what you're getting at. But, okay, crying while eating beef and saying this to show like, oh, look, I'm a Muslim too. Trying to show like Muslims are this, Muslims are that. That is a problem. That is a problem. Especially in India with increasing atrocities against Muslims. Day by day. You have people like Hemant Sharma going around posting videos of how he's going to target and shoot Muslims. That is a problem. You never make a movie about RSS this way, because RSS is an terrorist organization itself. It has been called that many times. Would you make a movie like that or no? Are you? Would you go and watch it? We Durandar 2 in India. How RSS planned to bomb multiple locations in India over the course of the last few years, or like the rally that Advani did, and every time he went to a village or a city, there was a anti-Muslim riot there. Do you want to make that movie? Would you watch it? Because RSS is a terrorist organization at the end of the day, my friend. If that movie becomes, do we target Hindus or do we target RSS? The whole narrative of the movie shows gangs and terrorist narratives, and it's about perspective. That's what you want to hear. There is an internal issue. ISI is international issue. My friend, sure. Who supports? Again, ISI was provided money from the US. So US always bad. Israel has supported ISIS. Israel also bad. Yes, I mean, that's another point. Who supported Taliban from its creation? Who supports Afghanistan Taliban right now? Yes, RSS is the biggest and most influential terror organization in the world and is Hindu. And do you see me hating on Hindus for it? No, I always consistently hate on Hindutva. I don't hate on Hindus. There's a difference. Do you see the difference here? Or are you just going to blamely paint every Muslim with the same light? First of all, that's you. Second of all, the movies. Like this movie, Kerala Story 2. There are various ways to... And Lashkar-e-Taiba, Al-Qaeda, ISIS are just innocent. No, they are not. They are terrorist organizations. But who do you think... But do you really think they are just coming in out of the blue? Picture bait, you have zero facts. Fuck off. You keep claiming you have facts. You don't have facts. Lashkar-e-Taiba and Al-Qaeda and ISIS, again, Al-Qaeda supported by America. Lashkar-e-Taiba, so they are innocent as well from here, right? You should be hating on America a lot more, my friend. Hold on, this camera needs correction. Yeah, better. Yeah. Twitcher bit, fuck off. Again, talking about India. Okay, if someone, like, guys, someone please tell him what Lund's mean in India. I don't know about RSS, but I know that RSS were not in one with, who did? Jesus, okay, Valiant. You have no idea how many terror attacks RSS has done within India. Every time there is a killing or murder of people or an anti-Muslim rally where high amount of people have died, it was the RSS since the beginning. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have Godhra massacre. We have, I'm not even joking. Today, the thing that I was going to cover here, hold on. Where is this? Forgotten massacre in India of Nellie. Who was this? Who was this guy? Guys. Here, Muslims of Bengal in 1983 were slaughtered. Who was this? Was this not RSS? Was this not the Hindutva? My friend, Gandhi was killed by RSS. He is supposed to be the father of our nation. There's a reason why it was banned. It is the OG Indian terrorist organization out there. Like, what? Do you not? I mean, I wasn't alive, so I'm pretty sure you weren't either. Whenever the first Babri Masjid, hold on, let me just move. Like, whenever the first Babri Masjid came up, whenever the first Babri Masjid rallies came up in India, Who was the one who went out killing Muslims in India? It wasn't the Muslims of Pakistan. It was RSS. Twitcher bit, shut up. I know about Sweden more than you. Fuck off. You just chirping like a white nationalist. Do you think I do not know? I deal with your people like every other day. What the fuck are you talking about? He was a reason for this fact and he didn't push hard enough to stop the partition. Okay, who he? Are you... Show me the article. Article of what? Again, please be a bit more... Gandhi was a reason for this. Okay. Was the reason for what? Partition? Gandhi was not the reason for partition. It was Jinnah. Yeah, I know. Also, Gandhi tried to stop the partition. He lost. What do you mean push hard enough? Yeah, again, it was Savarkar, not even Jinnah for the partition. Again, as Bliss said, it was Savarkar who... Jinnah copied two-nation theory from Savarkar. Yeah, exactly. That is also true. So go blame Savarkar for the partition. Also, I'm not sure you can even blame Jinnah for the partition because, again, he was trying to look out for Muslims. He was trying to look out for Muslims after his wife had died. He was already fucking depressed. He was not a very good leader, to be honest with you. Go read. My friend, Twitch Turbate, fuck off. Then why the fuck did he not take a single Muslim to Pakistan? There was like, this is like the 7th most biggest migration from India to Pakistan, Pakistan to India. What the fuck are you talking about? No, also, no, every single Muslim to Pakistan is not going to happen. You know why? Because these are Indian Muslims. Muslims in India did not want the partition. Why would you want to leave your house and go halfway across because some other idiot is telling you that now, okay, we fought for India together, now let's partition it out? Like, would you leave tomorrow if I told you to leave your home and go somewhere else? If you fought for a country to be united and because of the Hindutva right wing, now there is 2 fucking countries now, and now you're just like, nahi, tum chalo, you get on and leave. Also, there are non-Muslims in Pakistan. Okay. No, you are annoying, Twitch Turbate. We're talking about something actually serious. You're talking about something that is completely imaginary in the minds of white nationalist idiots. Do you not, like, do you ever see like unbiased news in Sweden, or do you just watch right-wing outlets? So shut up for 5 seconds. We're talking about history of my country. We're not talking about fucking Sweden. Or do you want me to bring up how Sweden had like zoos for humans of brown and black skin color, sorry. Or do you want to bring up like what? How Sweden has like also colonized the world and Africa. Do you want to bring that up? No? So fuck off. I'm talking about India here. In 19... No, you fucking idiot. You talk like one. That's why I called you one. In 1960s, there were 20%. Now there's 2% because of racism, hate against Hindus. Wiz, no one is denying that. I don't care. I care about Indians. Can you focus on Indians for 5 minutes? Because in India, do you want to be similar? I don't know why the fuck there are Swedes here, New Moon. It's not like I put this out like, oh, we are talking about Sweden. I said we are talking about Kerala story. They just dropped in for some reason. Dude, fuck off. You started with that statement. And your statement was still wrong. I can assure you, I know more about racism in Sweden than you do. Also, don't talk about weird stuff made from left ideology. Zoos were a very much right thing in Sweden up until 1960s. Christian is Pakistan celebrate Christmas without issues. Christian India assaulted, yeah. Oh no, it is. Sweden, I agree, is a much better country. Oh. Institute of Rasbiolog. It's in hold on. The Norwegian Institute of Racial Biology from Uppsala, Operation 1922, it had aimed because of racial hygiene measures. Yeah, that's racist. Got defunct in 1958. So what? I'm Christian in India. Surely you know. My guy, do you not watch the... Ways watch the damn news at one point or the other. Stop following RSS. Jesus. Pakistan has reservation too. That is true, Batman. I'm ignoring people on YouTube now because of you idiots. See, I am not going to get into Sweden right now. If you ain't, if you did, you wouldn't be defending Bliss. Like, he might be like a really rich Christian in India that's really into like the Hindutva lifestyle. Hindutwas accept like Christians as well, as long as they hate Muslims enough. Yeah, they are the in group right now in rich places, but in like poorer places they are harassed and killed. That's the difference. Like, we were just talking about like during Christmas how much hate the Christians were receiving. I would like all of the videos are on YouTube, by the way. You can go and check. We played them live. There's literally a video today. Hold on. Like, not this. This is a damn video. This, not this. This is stupid. Jesus, I can't even find half the shit. Yeah. What is this guy doing? Just tell me here. What is this guy doing? Who's this going against? Why is he going randomly beating up people? In India with Muslims and Hindus, I've never felt racism. There's a good chance that you have and you didn't realize it. Indian racism is very sneaky when it wants to be. I'm not even joking. There's a good chance that you have felt racism. Yes, you're a racist piece of shit, you turd. Fuck off, Twitch. Rubat. Indian Muslims and Hindus, and I've never... See, in India, if you are above a certain class, you may have felt racism in its own way, but you have never realized that it was racism. This happens quite a lot. I am guilty of doing that. Because I grew up in a UC family. And I was brought up with shit like this. No, you fucking dumb fuck. I am not... I don't think every white person is a racist. I think people who come here and be racist are racist. Do you see the difference? My wife is fucking white. Half my family is white. I know. Stop being an idiot. Because you were spouting racist lines from a news article that was written by a fucking racist. I have seen that fucking news article, you idiot. No, it's not like saying I'm saying half my family is white. Why would I be racist against white people? See, white is a socio-political construct. Whiteness has the definition of whiteness has changed over the course of the last few years, and it keeps changing. That is, yes, she is Western, she is fair skin. White, again, is a socio-political construct. That is what white is. It's not about skin color per se. What go search on videos, Muslims getting lynched and churches being destroyed, and yeah, exactly, you can do that. Yeah, you can also hate detector on. Yeah, that is also, yeah, you can check hate detector in. Anyway, I'm getting back to this. Jesus Christ, we have derailed quite a bit.
See, if speaking the truth is propaganda, then it's fine. But I know for a fact that everything what
So do Muslims to Hindu temples, hate is everywhere, you just can't. Wait, seriously, if you want to continue this conversation, I'm going to put a restriction on people who are actually subbed are texting here. Because if you are going to say shit, if you are going to get a response out of this, you might as well sub to this. Help it out. Because I need to get to this matter and I don't need the distractions. And you tagging my mod every 5 seconds is not going to help the cause.
we have shown in the film is truth.
Are you
At this
targeting
time
a
in the
particular
Again, it is not the truth. Because see, they claimed it last time as well that this was the truth. It is not the truth.
community, sir? That is the
no,
very
no,
pointed
no, no,
charge.
no. It's not about the community. It's about the people who are operating as a terrorist and to change the demography of this country. They are targeting our daughters. We cannot sit quiet and see what they are doing. As a filmmaker, we need to speak it out. We need to talk about it so that the society knows what is happening in the society.
Right. So would you call this a selective outrage, an outrage which is being timed ahead of elections in the state of Kerala? Because that too is one
Definitely.
aspect that one must look at.
See, I don't understand politics that way. If they feel ki we are target, it's about the election. No, not at all. In our country, every year there are 3, 4, 5 elections.
He literally released the last movie during the election and now he's releasing the next movie during the election. So, I mean, it is about fucking elections.
So we'll have to make films. So it's not about the elections. We are just here to make good films, talk about the society, sensitize our daughters, parents, everyone, so that they know what is happening in the society.
If you could just throw light on the kind of research that went about before making this film. You've already come out with the first installment, now ready with the second one. What would you say to the research, the R&D that has gone into it, sir?
See what happened. Vipulji is the producer, so Vipulji produced the first part also. So when they were going around in the country and they were talking to people, they would say this that it's story of Kerala. So the whole it's not happening in the whole country. So he had decided that we should make a film what is happening in the country, and then I came in board. And parallelly, I was doing research and doing documentaries on demography. And I realized that our daughters are not safe. I met.
Your daughters are not safe from Hindutva terrorism. They are safer from Muslims, to be completely honest with you, in India especially. There is news about someone getting raped, sexually assaulted, harassed, married into a really horrible family that eventually unalive them over something like a dowry or just harassment. Or there's literally a news right now that someone was killed because they didn't give sex. If you really want to protect your daughters, protect them from the Hindus.
The victims. Last 3 years, I've been meeting the victims. I'm meeting the parents, and it's a huge problem. It's a serious problem. It's challenge to the integrity of this country. It's challenge to the sovereignty of this country. If our daughters are targeted this way and the demography is targeted this way, we need to talk about it.
Yeah, if you really need to talk about it, talk about Hindutva. That is a bigger threat, I would argue.
Let me now take this across to my guest on the broadcast. Anku Das, spokesperson of Kerala BJP, is with us. Also with us is BN Haskar, political analyst. Mr. Haskar, what do you think are the problems surrounding Kerala story 2? What are the concerns that the state really faces that is being represented through the chief minister, although nobody from the state has decided to join us on the debate? So what seems to be the problem with this film?
Let us find out what is the creativity in this film. The filmmakers are already claiming that this is a fiction. This is not a fiction one, and this is the true story of Kerala. Do you believe the social fabric of Kerala is entirely different? This is a centuries-old colonial technique to divide the people and rule. The BJP is trying to make propaganda theory in Kerala that the social fabric of Kerala they are trying to malign the social fabric of Kerala. That is the only reason why, if they are going to do some creative work, a person has every right to do a creative work, whether it is a creative work or a creative work which we can be considered as a fictional one. But they are.
It's not a creative work if you're actively creating animosity between two separate sectors within the Indian.
Are claiming that this is the true story.
Okay, hold on. What is he crying about? Wait, I will answer you. Yeah, ban me to spread your... Okay. Did you get banned by Bliss? Hold on. Why is this not banned over here? Let me just... I don't know what to do with this, but fine. I'll just time you out. It was in the... No, I timed him out. I hope so. Because see, I got this auto mod request here. What? See, I'm not gonna ban anyone. Like, that's not happening. I mean, if Third Face gets in my face too much, I might ban him. I'm not gonna ban Wiz. Did I accidentally ban Wiz? Shit. Bliss, can you check? Like, fuck, did I just do that? Hopefully not. Oh, perfect. Cool. Cool. He left anyway, so who cares? Oh shit, I forgot.
It should be censored by the...
I was like, I'm listening to this very nicely, very nice like a puppy. Like, oh, go on.
This is a documentary kind of a thing. Once if a documentary kind of a thing, it should be definitely banned by this government itself, which it should be censored by the government itself. That is my stand in this kind of thing. Because if it is a creative work, we can consider that it's a fictional one. They can claim that if it is a fictional one. But at the verge of the assembly election, the political agenda of the BJP and...
See, even if they claim it as a fictional work, that is not going to be a thing that actually works.
What is going to happen through these filmmakers? They are claiming that these characters are not fiction as one, but these characters are living one.
But Mr. Haskar, that is the argument that even the BJP is in fact saying about the Kerala government. Because it's election time, it is the election season. The same logic applies to the LDF government, considering that you are also pandering to a certain vote bank. If at all that logic needs to be applied to the BJP RSS combine, why not to Pinarayi Vijayan and the government in Kerala?
See, we cannot consider these things in the election at the time of an election time. What they are trying to do is that they are trying to create issues and divide the Hindus and Muslims in Kerala.
Okay.
Do you think like that? that whether the daughters are at a danger in Kerala, because we are staying here, and we live here. We know
Okay.
how Kerala's
Okay,
secularism is
Shankudas,
there.
the film is divisive. That is the charge. That is against the film, its makers. And while you answer that question, let me also introduce Mr. Shehzad Khan, who's also joined us on the debate. Yes, Mr. Das.
Yeah, it seems quite surprising that my good friend Haskar, people like him, a particular section of the society who usually stands with the freedom of speech and expression, who are very vocal for the freedom of speech and right of expression, are now hurt and provoked by just 3-minute trailer of a movie, which seems to be discussing love jihad. Only a 3-minute trailer has been out, but they already want a complete ban on the movie. He is asking for a ban on the movie. The love jihad has always been a hot topic in Kerala, at least since 2009. It is very interesting to note that the issue of love jihad was not raised by BJP or RSS or any Hindutva outfits in Kerala. It was first raised in 2009 September by KCBC, which is the Kerala Catholic Bishops' Council. The apex body
Jesus, Streambo. Hold on, I have to remove it from every single annoying ass.
of the bishops of Kerala Catholic Church. The issue raised by KCBC was that almost 4,000 girls belonging to Catholic Church have been purposefully converted to Islamic religion by a purposeful effort by a network of people who are engaged to betray girls by acting love and converting them. So it was first raised by KCBC in 2009. Then it was raised by SNDP Yogam General Secretary Sri Vellapalli Naresan. SNDP is the Srinarayana Dharma Paripalana Sangam.
So this radicalization that you say is very, very rampant in states like Kerala. So that means the film is a documentary account. It's not really a fiction.
No, it's not even a documentary account because this was debunked last time. Last time when Kerala 1 happened, like Kerala Story 1 happened, it was debunked as it is not by any means a factual movie. This is not a documentary. This is plain lying. This is lying and being shown as a documentary. It is lying to create animosity against Muslims of India. I cannot keep repeating this how much ever. Get the point.
Lies tale. Is that what it is, sir?
No, it is a movie. The trailer only claims that it is inspired by true events. It is not a documentary. It is a movie.
Inspired. It's okay. The inspired by true shit is a claim that they make to give them legitimacy. I don't know why these guys don't talk about all of this shit. Where is this coming from? Like, you have two centrists about the movie and you have two people who want to actively go on and do negative propaganda against an entire religion. Fucking idiots.
The argument that is coming in from the left government is because it's a documented proof, and that is what they are suggesting, that this is based on really true incidents. We are depicting true incidents, and that's why we want the film banned.
No. The filmmakers are not claiming it to be a documentary movie. They're only saying that the thread of the movie is inspired by true events, which is in fact true. You can trace many similar incidents from Kerala that has been in news, which are related to the movie. We can say that. I was trying to come to that point. So in 2009 itself, various organizations from Kerala, which are not in any way related to BJP or RSS, has been raising this issue. And very importantly, in 2010, then Chief Minister of Kerala, Mr. V.S. Achyutanandan, who is the communist chief minister, was saying that there is a purposeful attempt by a particular section of the society to convert the democratic fabric of Kerala and convert it into an Islamic state. Young girls are lured into their religion by the tactics of love. That is stated by the then chief minister, Sri V.S. Achyutanandan. And in 2009, there was a case in Kerala High Court where Justice K.T. Shankaran that there are purposeful conversion efforts are happening in Kerala in the context or in the garb of
They are not happening.
So essentially you are saying there are enough examples in this entire Kerala culture which has been depicted in this particular film. Shehzad Khan, I did happen to speak to the filmmaker Kamakhya Singh, where he said that he's done an extensive research. He's spoken to the aggrieved members of the community, family members who have come out with details, and that is what he has put in this particular film. And the part 2 Kerala story extends and goes beyond Kerala, goes into states like Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. What do you see this outrage now, particularly from the Kerala government about?
देखिए, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका मुझे आपके शो पे बुलाने का। केरला वन जो आई थी, केरला स्टोरी वन जो आई थी, उसमें उन्होंने इतना जहर वो किया है और इतनी गलत फिगर्स दिखाई थी कि उनको हाई कोर्ट से जाके जब फटकार पड़ी तो उनको जाके उसको ऑल्टर करना पड़ा। जो हकीकत थी वो बताना पड़ा ISIS के बारे में। तो ये लोग, ये अक्सर देखा गया है और हमारे हिंदुस्तान की आवाम जो है वो अब यूज टू हो चुकी है कि जब कभी इलेक्शंस आते हैं, ये आते तो ये एक एजेंडा वाली फिल्म को रिलीज किया जाता है जिसका प्रमोशन जो हमारे लोग सत्ता में है वो करते हैं
जी।
जो बड़ी अफसोस की बात है। हम एक दूसरे को डिवाइड एंड रूल की कब तक चलता रहेगा।
शहजाद जी, आप फिल्म इंडस्ट्री से बिलोंग करते हैं, एक और फिल्म का एग्जांपल लूंगी। घूसखोर पंडित के खिलाफ एक वर्डिक्ट आया कोर्ट से, अब जाके नीरज पांडे को फिल्म का टाइटल बदलना पड़ा है। कोर्ट का ये ऑब्जर्वेशन था कि व्हाई अननेसेसरीली गो अहेड एंड
होल्ड ऑन, देयर इज समथिंग फनी दैट रिसेंटली हैपेंड. This is like a bit of a tangent here. I'm going on my own tangent.
Like this
1 hour
man
ago.
of Pakistan, because there was some fighting going on when I got to know him and your field marshal, general, great general, great field marshal, a great guy. And
the rambly king of America is rambling again about India.
I got to meet the prime minister. And he said in front of our chief of staff, Susie Wells, who's right here, he said, you know, nobody knows this, but I believe that President Trump saved 25 million lives when he stopped the war between.
Yeah, don't target Brahmins, but fine, target Muslims. Whole classic Brahmin baniya. ऐसी है?
Between us and India.
Lol, I know, yeah.
You made that statement. I said 25 million lives, could have been much more, actually. But it was really a beautiful thing. You said that in front of a group of people they walked out. They don't think about it, but you're talking about that kind of lives. That war was raging. Planes were being shot down, right? And it was Pakistan and India. And I got on the phone with both of them, and I knew them a little bit. I knew Prime Minister Modi very well, actually. But I got to know Pakistan through a little trade. They were trying to make too good a deal, and I got a little upset with them. And in the end, they got what they wanted, right? And they made a good deal. And I got to like them, the Prime Minister, the Field Marshal, who's a tough man, good fighter, right? Good, serious fighter. I like good fighters, actually. And when I heard that they were fighting, I picked up a certain newspaper. I won't tell you which one, because it's fake news generally. But I picked up this newspaper and I saw that Pakistan and India were really going at it. And then it got worse and worse, and many planes were shot down. It was all out. And I called them and I said, listen, I'm not doing trade deals with you two guys if you don't settle this up. They said, no, that has both of them. They didn't want to do that. I said, no, it has to. If you don't do it, I'm not doing a trade deal. We're not doing a trade deal. And they do a lot of business with the United States, and they sort of softened up all of a sudden. Then all of a sudden I read where there was a little bit of a pullback by one, then the other, and all of a sudden we worked out a deal, right? But I said, if you fight, I'm going to put 200% tariffs on each of your countries, which essentially makes you not allowed, you can't do any business. One of them, I won't say which one, said, no, can't do that. They both wanted to fight. But when it came to money...
So he kind of basically saying again that he did the ceasefire.
Like
I wouldn't be surprised if they just come out and say
money, they said, I guess we don't want to fight.
I believe him a lot more than I believe Modi, to be honest with you. Because see, Pakistan is saying that they did a ceasefire, Trump did a ceasefire. Modi is the one who's saying he's not because he's trying to save his ass.
And do something which will go ahead and outrage a particular community. This is sensitive. Don't go there. Why are you trying to disrupt society? if that logic can be applied to one film, and this is not just about a film's title in this case, it is a larger context, and there is some concern that is being raised about how the secular fabric of a state will get disturbed if such a film really comes out. Can that equivalence really be drawn?
देखिए, जैसे घूस को बहुत अच्छी बात कही आपने, जैसे घूसखोर पंडित को पर स्टे लगाया गया, उसका नाम बदल गया, तो वैसे ही इसके ऊपर भी सेम चीज होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि एक कम्युनिटी को टारगेट कर रहे हैं। उसका ट्रेलर मैंने देखा, उसमें एक मौलाना टाइप के कैरेक्टर है, वो कह रहे कि 2047 तक की पूरा शरिया लॉ हो जाएगा। अरे कैसी बेवकूफी की बातें कर रहे हैं, क्यों लोगों को आप भटका रहे, क्यों लोगों को भड़का रहे? आपको देश की प्रगति देखना है कि ये सब करके दो। और पिछली उनकी केरला स्टोरी जो 1 थी, इस बुरी तरह से पिटी है, सिर्फ सरकार ने उसकी टिकट्स खरीदी और लोगों में बांटी है, उसके बावजूद भी
Okay, so Shankudas, why is there a free endorsement that is coming for a film which is made by some filmmaker in the film industry by the ruling government in the country? Why is BJP endorsing such a film if you are not looking at elections in the state?
BJP is not endorsing the movie. I'm not vouching for the movie. I'm only saying that only trailer is out now. It is too early to say that the movie should be banned. And even if the movie is bad, there's the right to make bad movies in this country.
Okay, listen, they keep claiming there's a right to make movies in this country while they ban Homebound. Limited it. Cut it out. There's a list of movies that the Indian government has banned because it was speaking against bromines.
Also, there is a right to make fantasy movies. There are a right to make imaginary movies. If the movie is bad,
but not anti-caste movies. You can't make anti-caste movies. You can't make movies that show casteism in India. That is not happening, right? Under BJP. That argument is so hypocritical coming from the BJP of all people.
That you expose the movie, you make another movie bringing out the real truth of Kerala, the freedom of speech and expression.
But you talk about the real truth. One of the members from the Kerala Society have gone to the Kerala High Court now against the film, wanting a ban on the film's release, wanting a change in the UA certification, in fact, denial of the certification altogether.
No, the problem we are all talking about is depicting the state of Kerala in a bad light. But the question that I'm raising is, which one is a graver issue? Like remaining silent to a disturbing truth that is happening in the state for many years, or bringing it out at the cost of depicting the state in a bad light, which is a graver issue.
Okay, but now that the matter is before the Kerala High Court, we'll have to see the fate that Kerala story 2 really is going to look at. We'd have to wait for that verdict coming in from the Kerala High Court, as notices now have been served to not just the makers of the film, but also the CBFC. I'd like to thank the gentlemen for joining me on debate number 2 on the broadcast. And now shifting our focus to...
Anyway, okay. So the other thing we were going to actually cover when we got really distracted is like, this is not a single thing. This keeps happening. In India, this keeps happening. This is not the first film that targets Muslims. Dhurandhar was a film that targeted Muslims because Massacre. Not just because Massacre, is because of they want to do it the way Israel has done it. That's why we are going to watch this. This is how serious question. Why do people fear demography? Is it because they know the minorities, when they become majority, they will do what it... Wouldn't everyone be equal no matter who majority is? If an unincluded electoral constitution... No. They don't fear demographic change. They know demographic change is never going to happen. What they are doing is using it as an excuse. They're using it as an excuse to justify genocide, justify murder. That's what Israel is doing as well. They are not going to be worried about like this much population of Muslim is here, this much population of Muslim is there. They don't care. They want to justify eradication. No sane person is ever worried. I know, but even the excuse doesn't pass logic. It does not. See, they don't need logic. They need fear. You can't give illogical fear to someone with logic. You have to be illogical. Like if I want to rally someone against someone, I need to be at least a certain level of illogical, and I need to show that Don't believe what in news is telling you. Don't believe what basic logic is telling you. Believe what I am telling you. It's with the Twitch third guy before. Like, he believed in a propaganda news article, which does not make sense at all. Like, if he had used basic logic, he would have known that, yeah, that article is shady as fuck. Oh, fuck off. Why are you still here? We are not even talking. I'm using you as an example.
Into this nationalistic, repulsively majoritarian state, sometimes you take a position and you are alone.
I'm gonna make fun of you because you were here crying.
It's okay to be alone.
Listen to her. She's amazing. Again.
India has turned into this nationalistic, repulsively majoritarian state. Sometimes you take a position and you are alone, and you have to understand that it's okay to be alone, you know?
Yes. On that note, when you were writing about the banning of your mother's school performance of Jesus Christ Superstar, which had been criticized for religious reasons, you say of that incident that, quote, macro versions of it were convulsing India. Specifically, you point to the rise of Hindu nationalists, their demolition of the Babri Mosque in the early 90s. That resulted in all sorts of convulsions, violence. It was spearheaded by the BJP, which is now, wasn't then, but is now the governing party in India, has been for over a decade. At that time, in the early 1990s, did you foresee what kind of road your country was going down?
Well, actually, a lot of things, happened to me because not because I read about it or because I analyzed news reports, but I was working in cinema, and I was in the city of Bhopal in central India, and I was at that time, I'm an architect by training, and I was a production designer of this film. I was getting some truckloads of wood and construction material from Bhopal to this little town in the mountains where we were shooting, and I actually saw the Rath Yatra, the Advani's Rath Yatra, the chariot procession, asking for the mosque to be demolished and a temple to be built, and I just saw the absolute hatred that was being whipped up, so you knew that something was coming.
Talking about taking an isolated stand, you talk in your book about how after you won the Booker Prize in 97 for The God of Small Things, India, the government, the society, begins to trot you out as, quote, part of a sort of national pride parade that segged seamlessly into the celebration of Hindu nationalism. You, of course, decided that you would not be part of that. And in 98, when India declared itself a nuclear-armed state, you published a scathing critique of the government's nuclear weapons policy, which you say, quote, kicked me off my literary star fairy princess pedestal. Was that a hard decision to make, knowing what was going to happen to you, that it was going to put a target on your back? And have you ever wondered, are there moments where you think, how different my life would have been had I done what most other celebrities and novelists and other stars do and just gone with the flow?
No, not for a second, because it's not like I had some, it's always better on our side, isn't it? It's always more fun. And it wasn't that like I felt I was sacrificing anything, because I was so uncomfortable with that sort of fake adulation, and then you're expected to behave in a certain way, and then I was supposed to write the son of the God of Small Things and the God of Small Things too.
In 2010, I have to ask, what first drew you in the first place? You said you're an architect by training, you're working on a film set, you write
to watch a country that once had some kind of grace lose its dignity like this. Internationally, I'm talking about, once a non-aligned country. It's sad to watch.
And sad to see it replicated. So when you look at the Modi playbook in a place like Kashmir in terms of cracking down on dissent, rounding up protesters, limiting free speech, and then
those are the minor things.
Those are the minor things. There's the torture and the killings, but just in terms of the democracy that doesn't respect free speech, we're here in the United States, where Donald Trump has rounded up people on green cards, legal immigrants, permanent residents, for their speech, for speech crimes. How much of what you're seeing in the US do you think looks like a page ripped straight from the Modi playbook?
Well, I sometimes want to know, is
Again, just to be very clear, I have been saying this from the start as well, not just her. Like everyone in India is like screaming, Modi and Trump are doing the same thing, and they're doing the same thing that Israel has been doing for the 70 years. It is based on, again, the Nazis. Nazis are also the inspiration for Savarkar. Savarkar and all of that has been based on American confederation policies. How are all the fascists connected so neatly? I don't get. And I don't get what people don't understand this.
there a real playbook?
Is there it's passed around?
Yeah, I mean, is there some digital version, not a real version? Because it's uncanny, the attacks on universities, the attack on citizenship, the attack on the economy, the attack on any kind of speech, the self-aggrandizement, the belief that you're a non-biological human being non-biological entity sent by God to rule people. So, I've asked this and written about it quite often, like, how is it always the same, the echoes? In India, of course, the difference is that the RSS, which is the mothership, the cultural guild, of which Modi is just the front desk.
Yes.
I mean, the BJP is just the front desk, is now celebrating its 100th year. So it's not anarchic. It's very, very organized. There are hundreds of thousands of volunteers, they call themselves. They've penetrated every institution.
Pracharaks.
Yes. But
they also penetrated the INC, by the way. INC has a great amount of Sanghis.
It's incredible how similar it is, the echoes of both things. And but I want to say that those January 6th the failed insurrection of January 6th, in India it succeeded, and the guys with the antlers and furs rule us,
We've also seen, obviously, Modi take advantage of the anti-Pakistan sentiment that exists in India, the love for the military. A lot of those movies are about military encounters. Here in the US, you have Trump holding military parades, drone striking boats in the Caribbean, renaming the Department of Defense to Department of War, rather honestly. I can't help but think of the essay you wrote when India declared itself a nuclear power. And you said at the time, quote, "If protesting against having a nuclear bomb implanted in my brain is anti-Hindu and anti-national, then I secede." It's the 21st century. How are so many right-wing leaders still getting away with this reactionary narrative that to love your country means you have to love the army, love war?
Well, let's not forget that the United States has been militaristic for a very, very, very long time. I mean, to watch some kind of sport like baseball or football or something, it's a terrifying experience, watching those planes and the nationalism and the veterans being pulled out. And this is a country that has lived on war and eaten war and drunk war and sold war all the time, So it's not as if suddenly something new is happening here. Maybe the rhetoric is more ugly, but it's always been terrifying, At the moment, everybody's becoming militaristic in some ways. And as we know, I think one of the things that I said, which floats around, is there was a time when weapons were invented to fight wars, but now wars are invented to sell weapons.
Yes.
And
hold on, what do we have again? Is it form of alienation? And hi, Don Mower. Yes, it is a form of alienation. Oh, you're just answering her. Okay. Also, hi, if you're new here, please do like, share, and subscribe if you can. It would be nice. Hello. How are you doing?
economies are booming on
that. We are talking about Hinduism, Zionism, and like Kerala story as a part of spreading this propaganda that Muslims are bad in India. It's similar lines. Oh, thank you so much. At least we have one person.
That, So it is, we are approaching that moment. And then, of course, you have this sort of social media situation where there is no set of facts or reality that everyone can agree on at all. So
the mainstream media has failed us.
Yes.
In India,
so we are in a situation where people don't seem to be able to speak to each other at all. Even to be able to disagree seems to be a luxury because there's just no conversation at all.
Yeah, if you don't have a shared set of facts,
yeah.
As opposed to opinions. I mean, Modi wouldn't be able to get away with half of what he gets away with if it didn't have this pliant corporate media, cable news, NDTV, one of the last independent outlets gone. I mean, there's really no independent
and they are
mainstream
owned.
media.
Like you have you have between Ambani and Adani and people like this, they own like 20 news channels.
But that's happening here, right? So if you're following CBS News here,
so we have been saying this for a while, that the American policies are a direct copy of what Modi has been doing. This has started quite a while ago. You have to understand, it is the same thing. They are copying each other to do the same thing to actually brown people overall. Overall, all of them are brown people that are suffering. But in India, it's about Muslims. If you don't know, Kerala Story is movie directed towards creating a cultural hegemony that allows for a genocide at this point. Okay, I'm just going to say it. Allows for a genocide in India. They have done this before, by the way. Godra was a thing. What they are trying to do is do a one that is sustained, like Israel. Because Israel has been creating anti-Palestinian movies from the start to get its public to support a genocide in Gaza. Now, India is doing the same thing. That's why the Indian top high command is getting so chummy with Israel. It's not all of a sudden. It has been happening for a while. We are just seeing the end goals of this.
Is now owned by the son of Larry Ellison, who is the second richest man in America and one of the big Trump donors, election denier. His son, David Ellison, is now controlling CBS News. We're already seeing the changes. We're already seeing pro-Trump people brought in as ombudsmen. Yeah. So we are heading, you talk about the playbook. Yeah. The American media, as bad as it always was, still had some independence. Yeah. Now it's looking like it's just going to be a pro-Trump chorus.
Yep. And the point is, everyone like you migrate to the internet, but then the internet is something they can shut down with a snap of their fingers.
He had a dinner with all the big tech bosses the other night, and they know what's expected.
And I mean, in Kashmir, 3 months they just shut it off. You could not get an OTP. I mean, whatever it was, there was nothing, no communication. It's a crime of some kind. You force people onto the net, and then you shut it off.
You mentioned Kashmir and obviously India. We're talking about parallels between India and Israel, India and US. How about parallels between India and Israel? The two, of course, have gained quite a reputation, both countries, Israel under Netanyahu, India under Modi, for their ruthless repression of Muslims under their control, whether it's in Kashmir or Gaza. In your book, you talk about visiting Kashmir for the first time and being shocked by the utter cruelty that you saw on the daily life. What parallels do you see between Kashmir and Gaza, or more broadly between Kashmir and Palestine?
Well, there are parallels. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it, that these countries that claim to be democracies are running these military or militarized occupations and a kind of different set
that and Trump and Netanyahu have photos of children with Modi. I am not sure. Maybe. I'm not going to say shit like anything like that gets me in jail right this instance. But there's a highest possibility that they are all included within the Epstein files. I mean, they are. Like, they were planning a meeting.
Certainly, you can call it that in Gaza and the West Bank. But in Kashmir, it's not so clear, but that is how it is practiced. I mean, not just in Kashmir. In India, if you are a Muslim, the law applies to you differently. It is not declared. It's undeclared, but that is how it is. But there are similarities and there are very unique differences. What is worrying, I think, is that all these big, great leaders are watching what Netanyahu can get away with in Gaza. And that is the bar that is being set. I mean, at one point, it was what happened in Sri Lanka. Now it's Gaza. And we are just watching a genocide unfold before us in a way which human beings have never seen before. You can just reach for a glass of water and instead watch a Palestinian child being starved or bombed or journalists being killed or just there. And it's like we are being forced to live our daily lives, eat our food, go to school, have some moments of happiness while we are watching this unfold in front of us. We can't put it away.
Live stream genocide,
boasted about genocide. Yeah. And everyone's going to learn and take lessons from it. Everyone is not just saying, oh, it's a terrible thing. Others are saying, hey, if they can do it, why not us?
In your book, you write about how after the first time you visited Kashmir, you found that you could not, quote, return to old conversations, old jokes, harmless fun. Most Indians' deliberate, cultivated, amoral innocence about what is happening there, what is being done there in their name, becomes hard to bear. Almost without my being aware, my circle of close friends changed. I wonder whether you found that you've had a similar experience in the wake of October the 7th and Gaza. A lot of people I speak to, especially in the world of arts, Hollywood, celebrities say, the friends I had are not the same friends I have anymore. Masks are off.
Yep. I mean, in India, it's those same people. I mean, the Venn diagram is the same. So, those friends one lost a long time ago. I mean, they were never my friends anyway, because you can see that coming from a long time, from a long distance. But after Gaza, I don't know how people can explain themselves for generations to come, because I don't think it's political anymore. It's psychotic.
Yes,
It's
I agree.
psychotic.
And interestingly, India's Israel side, Narendra Modi has gone out of his way to cultivate a friendship with Netanyahu. They've hugged on the beach. They've hugged at the airport. They've, taken
He
long
loves
walks
hugging
together.
people.
He loves hugging people. But not just hugging, buying billions of dollars worth of weapons parts from Israel. There were even reports last year that India was shipping weapons to Israel. How did India, as you mentioned earlier, how did India go from being a country that was well known for being pretty pro-Palestinian for the 50s, 60s, 70s, into the 80s, to suddenly being one of Israel's few reliable allies in the world today?
Well, just because that is the,
Shared vision.
No, I mean, Hindu nationalism and Zionism kind of waltz together very, very easily, If you think you're the chosen people, within Hinduism is the caste system where Brahmins are the chosen.
Okay, let me get this straight for you guys. The reason why it is closed because the RSS has been getting closer and closer to Israel as a way to get to America. Sorry. The RSS has been getting closer and closer to Israel as a way to get to America. There has always been this idea that the current regime is supported by the CIA and has been for the past how so many years. We have recorded information where the RSS has been paid by the CIA to promote Modi, to promote the right-wing government in India because of their existent hate for the Congress since the Nixon era. Since Indira Gandhi went to his face and shut him the fuck up and told him not to be involved with India. In India, during the Morarji Desai and rest, India made a concerted effort to go and stand next to Israel and suck up to Israel. Since then, this is 1970s. People don't realize this. Whenever there has been a right-wing government in India, they have sucked up to Israel and America. Whenever there has been a left-wing government in India, left in brackets, it's more or less center-right, it has always stood with Palestine. That is the duality of India right now. A lot of people in the past believed that access to technology that enabled people to watch mass violence and war in real time would make everyone rejected. But it seems that if anything, the opposite has happened. People are like, maybe we should not do that too. Yes, people inherently are good people. That's why they do all of this shit that we're talking about. That's why the propaganda movies. That's why the constant stream of who you should support and who you shouldn't. That's why Israel does all of that shit that Israel does. Like calling anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism as the same thing. Going after content creators for being anti-Zionist. There's a reason why I do that. There's a reason why Hassan is the most anti-Semitic streamer according to this one lady. Everything is to create a cultural hegemony to give permissibility to the violence. This is what's happening in India as well. In India, if you are a left-wing content creator, if you are anyone who speaks against the current government, if you are anyone who speaks anti-genocide of Muslims in India, I'm not even saying that you speak for Muslims. You just speak, we don't have to kill them. You are instantly targeted by Hindu IT cells. I get that threats on X all the fucking time. I get slowed down on YouTube because we are dual streaming. Twitch is probably the only place where we don't get slowed down. Shadow banned. We did a check recently. They target you immediately because they know how to manage their culture to create permissibility for oppression. On the other hand, there is a Indian sitting chief minister of a state, like for example, governors in America, similar to like chief ministers in India. He posted an AI video of him targeting Muslims. He has given speeches on how we should do apartheid against Muslims, how we should not give them business, how we should run them out of the country, how we should cancel their citizenships. That is all fine for them because they want to normalize that. They don't want to normalize what they actually like. They don't want to show off what they're actually doing to the Muslims because that will only create people saying that we should not be doing that. But they are trying to slowly do it through movies, slowly do it through speeches, slowly do it to AI videos. Cultural hegemony. Hemant Biswa used to be in Congress. Yes, he was. That's what I'm trying, like the earlier point. RSS has done entryism into INC a lot, Indian National Congress, a lot. That was a huge problem. Congress by the end of 2012 was majoritarily RSS people. People don't realize that. Most of them switched the moment BJP came into power. That's like even today, Shashi Tharoor is an RSS guy. No matter his holdover English, no matter the fancy words he uses, it doesn't matter. He started off from the RSS, he still holds the mentality and ideology. In India, people are kept completely uneducated over political ideologies, so you don't see the difference. So you always think Congress is left and BJP is right and whatever. That's the basics of the basics. What is Bliss saying? Hold on. Only reason left is alive in it. Only real left alive in India is because right is incredibly useless, incompetent, and who tagged Germany. Yeah. So they were trying to get me deported, right? This is story time. They were trying to get me deported, and they were. I'm not in Germany. They were tagging Germany. Yeah. So that was like extremely funny. That was just next level. Anyway, Hemant used to give jabs to BJP for Gujarat 2002 before he joined BJP. Yeah, but because Hemant started off in RSS, they started taking in RSS people a lot. It was fucking stupid. I don't know why. Like, I actually do wonder, Since the ban of the RSS and since like India's freedom, Congress has gone more and more right, especially all of the shit that they did with respect to Nehru socialism. So I have a theory, irrespective of controversial, that RSS actually started involving their members into the INC since then. The complete takeover took 70 years. Because if you see throughout history, INC has kept slowly becoming right-wing. It wasn't right-wing. It started as a socialist organization. And yes, CIA is also a part of this. The CIA has also influenced Indian politics since Nixon. I agree. Russia has its own influence, but that was mostly positive. Somehow, I'm not sure how. Like, I'm not going to say Russia. Russia is idiotic. USSR. So, India, you can see that difference as it has moved towards the right. Yeah, Sanghis love Sanjay Gandhi a lot. Sanjay Gandhi is very pro BJP. Which Sanjay Gandhi are we talking about? The one that left from the Gandhi family? Yeah. So no, his children are in the RSS right now. Like his children is Varun Gandhi. He's like a RSS member and Bharatiya Janata Party person. Irrespective. The point that I'm trying to make it. Yeah, Nasbandi wala. The point I'm trying to make is that I wonder if since our independence, Nehruvian socialism was put down by the RSS by doing entryism within it. That is what I'm wondering. Anyway, let's go back to this.
Chosen people. So the segue into that sort of fascist thinking is not a hard one to make. And so in India,
and common enemies in the Muslims.
Yeah. I mean, I was in Beirut, and I met people who didn't realize, how things had changed in India. They said, oh, we had come to India 20 years ago and everybody loved the Palestinians. I said, no. And they said, now the government has changed, but the people still love us. I said, no, it has changed so much, and it has become something which is repulsive to me to watch the similarity between these two states and the kind of everyday violence that is visited upon. I mean, before, of course, it was visited upon Dalits at the bottom of the caste system, but now it's the Muslims who are taking that place. And just casual violence. Next door to me, a friend of mine's cousin, he was stabbed to death because someone was parking their vehicle in front of his gate and he objected and they just killed him. You know what I mean?
Oh, Tyler is back. Congrats. My guy, she's smarter than every one of us combined. She's also not wrong. She's not even spreading hate. She's saying facts. If she says an thing that is not a fact, I'll bring it up. But as long as she's saying facts, we can keep going.
That's not going to count.
Normalized.
Yeah, it's been normalized. So you can just go around, lynching people, and you have mobs with swords come out and say Muslims should be killed, women should be raped, and it's normalized.
These are scary times. In 2003, you served on the World Tribunal on Iraq, which ultimately ruled that the US and UK governments were guilty of violating the UN Charter and the Nuremberg Principles, found that US forces had been, quote, intentionally directing attacks upon civilians and hospitals, medical centers, residential neighborhoods, water purification facilities. I remember marching against the Iraq War. I remember being radicalized by the Iraq War and thinking, we will never see anything like this horror show in our lifetimes again. Abu Ghraib, the use of depleted uranium, all of those war crimes from Bush and Blair. And then Gaza comes along and you think, wow, they've actually done something
between
worse.
that and Gaza, a lot of things came along.
Many wars came along, but I think Gaza is, as you said a moment ago, the live stream genocide is like something we've never seen. Yeah. Not in Syria,
it's just
not in Libya.
The ground has been prepared and people are being prepared
to go this far.
To do this,
Do you see parallels between Iraq and Gaza in terms of there was never any accountability for Iraq? The war criminals walked away from the scene.
The war criminals walked away, and
Joe Biden supported the Iraq war, was elected president 17 years later.
Tony Blair, I don't know how many millions he earns for talks on religion or something.
He's not, and he was even allegedly involved with Trump in this ethnic cleansing plan of Gaza. Exactly. Do you see the same thing happening with Gaza? Complete impunity.
Complete impunity, and I don't know. I mean, see, Mehdi, before the show ends, if they wanted to, they could stop it. The United States could stop it,
one phone call.
But no, it's acceptable, and there are some people, and of course, I've been speaking about it since 2002. The process of the demonization and dehumanization of Palestinians, which is such an important process to allow genocide to proceed, and it's been coming. The only good thing I can say is that I remember coming here and speaking in 2002, and
Tyler, she is an intellectual. She has never been that. What are you talking about? Can you give us one instance where you felt that she's saying that, look, worship me? My friend, she's a writer who is currently only saying shit that is true. Yeah, Modi can't spell intellectual. Yeah, that is true.
people were just like, you don't talk about this in America, And now young people are on the streets, Jewish people are on the streets, every kind of person is on the street. But what is under the rubble in Gaza is not just the bodies of Palestinians, but the carcass of Western liberal democracy.
Or as what's that line from Gandhi? Western civilization. I think is a good idea. Just on that before we finish, on the specific issue of speaking out and taking a stand, do you think things have changed to the point where now we're going to actually see changes from governments?
I mean,
some European governments are kind
of... they are, but I don't know whether they're just doing that to sort of keep a little cozy place for themselves in the history books and not really do anything, because...
You think talking about and voicing out the misery of people is fraud? What are you talking about? Be real, my friend. Be real. You have been here for long enough to understand this, that if someone is voicing out the misery of people, they are not talking about themselves. See, irrespective, I wouldn't say she's a narcissist using the misery of people. She's one of the only voices right now that speaks up against the tyranny that Modi is doing in India. You can not like her. That is your choice. I'm not going to tell you if you want to like her. No, Tyler, my friend, that is not why. I don't follow her because she echoing my thoughts. And what do you mean confirmation orgasm? What does that supposed to mean? My friend, the only reason I am showing this right now because it's relevant to the topic we're speaking on. I don't follow people or I don't make gods out of people. That is not me. I am being very professional about this, my love or dislike for Arundhati Roy. She's on Mehendi Unfiltered. She's talking about what is true and unbiased. And she's talking unbiasedly. That's why we are showing this. I don't care if this was someone else. That's it. That's all, no more reason. She's the most knowledgeable person in this situation about this because she has worked with Gaza. She has worked with what's happening in Kashmir. She has worked with Iraq. That's why I'm talking about her. That she's not a narcissist for doing the research and coming here and talking about it. And yes, my thoughts are the same as hers. That is true. In these topics, always, because I have done all of that as well. The research that is required to come to this conclusion. If you haven't checked, that is on you.
They are allowing this to proceed at a pace where you are seeing the annihilation of a whole people.
Nothing really. He's very right-wing, Sanghi kind of a person, but he has been here before. The only thing is that he still has an open mind than most people. That's why he's still around. I think you need to look that is narcissistic. What? Narcissistic to stand behind tribals, Kashmir, women, and queers? What the fuck, Tyler? At this point, you are just trying to rage bit. But I'm just like, go, like, please don't bother replying. It's fine. He's just trying to rage bit. He's just being. See, fine, you don't like her. That is okay. But can you at least appreciate the fact that what she has done has a positive impact on the world or no? That is all I'm trying to ask you. You don't like her, that is fine. No one, like, you can hate anyone that you want, that is your choice.
Of their history, of everything, of their, of everything, of their children, education, hospitals, journalists, everything. And I know that what these people are thinking is that public memory is short, and 20 years down the line, who will remember? Who will remember?
You mentioned dehumanization. I was just thinking, people like Greg Stanton, the genocide scholar, have said, well, India's on the road to genocide. Some of the warning signs are there. You talk to other people, I'm of Indian Muslim descent, as you know. A lot of my family, when I talk to them in India and abroad, they say stuff like, oh, that's hyperbole. There's too many Muslims in India for there to be a genocide. It's, hundreds of millions of Indians are Muslims. You couldn't have a genocide against Muslims in India. That's hyperbole. What do you make of that argument?
Well, what does it mean, a genocide? Does it mean that all of them have to be annihilated? No. You had, when the Citizenship Amendment Act came, this.
See, Tyler, the thing that she has done is to spread information. In this world, it is very hard to spread information with the right-wing government suppressing you at every step of the way. Tyler, you know for a fact, we are not a very big channel. Yes? And yet, I have felt... So, no. Let me finish. And yet, today, I have felt that there are certain aspects that I have been suppressed on YouTube for. I have been suppressed on X, and we are not a big channel. I don't have like 3,000 followers or 30,000 followers on X, and I get suppressed. You know how important it is for someone like Arundhati Roy to go out and actually speak her mind and defend the people who needs it? Internet spreads information for free, that is true. But the information also needs to come from someone who's spearheading that information and is important enough that people listen. Because if you're not important enough, like I am not important enough on the internet, I get shut down nearly every time we do a stream. Every time we do a stream, we get shut down on the YouTube algo. Because we speak pro-left and anti-BJP shit. It is very important to have someone to be a leader in spearheading free and fair information. You're still here. Jesus said, Twitch Orbit. We're talking about India.
Started building these big internment centers,
Nassam,
and
yeah.
they were not meant to accommodate, the hundreds of millions of Muslims, but they were meant to tell people this is where you belong. You are going to be second-class citizens. You do not have the rights that everybody else has. Of course, I mean, India, the thing is, it is a very anarchic place with so many languages, so many
Aww.
so many cultures, so much stuff. So it's like to say India is a Hindu country is like trying to pour an ocean into a Bisleri bottle. It's hard.
Great
And
Bisleri reference.
I don't think that, but I don't think that the threat isn't there. Although now in the last...
Tyler, activism part. The activism part is extremely important because everyone who's barely even there speaking out gets suppressed. We need people like her to do activism for people who are needing of that activism. We need people like her to talk about Gaza. We need people like her to talk about like Hindus everywhere if they are being suppressed. We need people like her to talk about Muslims in India, about Kashmiris, about people in Manipur, about people in Arunachal Pradesh, about Assamese. Yes, I know that, Twister Bit. I know what you're talking about. I have read that shit that you're talking about. It's not new. The only reason I'm not going to go in detail about this right now on how that thing is wrong is because we're talking about India. The 58% thing, I know. I have read it. And if you cannot see the inherent issues within that news article, my friend, you need to start critically thinking about what you read. Anyway, please just let me focus on this. I will do an entire stream for you. Keep track of the channel, okay?
Last election, for a bully and a megalomaniac like Modi to have not got a majority has broken him in some ways. But
has it inspired the people who are against Modi? That there's a chink?
Yeah, but they are all a quarrelsome bunch, and you don't know. I mean, a little ineffective, but still, there are people who stand up, and those people we are with. And whatever happens, if we go down, we'll go down with them, but we'll never be on the other side.
Well said. And you are one of those people who...
Anyway, so the thing that they're trying to normalize is people like this. So there's this video circulating that this is what they're trying to do, but people are fighting back. Honestly, we'll watch that as well. the reason why Kerala story becomes important for the right wing, especially as we heard multiple times, they're trying to create cultural hegemony here. So that's why they release videos like this. Do you see the thing that they are trying to promote? जब मिलोगे ऐसे ही इलाज होगा, whatever. This is why police don't do anything against them. We have actually, I'm not even joking, talked about this guy before. We have talked about Daksh Chaudhary before on this channel when he was harassing YouTubers. We have talked about Daksh Chaudhary before. He is not a new thing. He has previously created a video saying that he's going to murder people. He is going to go out and burn. This is a problem, and the police have not done anything against it. Because according to them, the freedom to commit genocide or calls for genocide are only okay if you are a Hindutva. No one should have the right to do this. Just to be clear. I don't care where you fall. I don't care if you're a Sanghi. I don't care if you hate Muslims. I don't care if you hate Christians. I care that this is supposed to be illegal in any fucking decent country. Yeah, this guy's a very punchable face. As someone who has been hit like this before, it really does hurt. Then you can get used to it, but this really does hurt. Last time, to punch a person who was a child, basically, like a 17-year-old, he bought 100 people. 100 people to punch a child. That's how, what's a very good word for a coward like him? I don't want to use the P word. It's very sexist. But okay, that's how a coward he is, to be honest with you. But then people are fighting back. People are fighting back. Like, this is, you can call this the effect of Mohammed Deepak effect. We covered Mohammed Deepak before, which is amazing, honestly. I think people really do get off their asses and actually start working towards something like this. So these people came up to like shop owners in the UP, as they do, asking them to change the name of their boardings because they were Muslims and they were harassing and they were basically creating apartheid. And people are fighting back. You ask me, like, why do I keep saying, like, oh, there is always hope, there's always hope for change? This is why. They are fighting back, which is amazing.
मंडी बंद करा देंगे तेरी कहीं तक आईडी दिखा मार पराठी कभी कहीं सुना देंगे मालिक आईडी दिखाओ आईडी दिखा तुम लोग साले भले तुम हाय लाइसेंस है 7 साल की मंडी है 7 साल की मंडी है 7 साल की मंडी भाग यहाँ से भाग।
This is how you should be treating Sanghis, by the way. Just saying. Get them the fuck out. And the same thing is happening on the 14th.
Ganja will not scare us anymore. This is what these young men who stood up against Bajrang Dal goons in Jaipur want.
This is why I know there is hope for people in India still. Because people are standing up against these goons. People, the time that you are disconnected from everyone is over. We all are connected through the internet. People have the will to actually stand up to fascism.
India to know. These men and women have shown how informed citizens themselves can push back against hate and safeguard their constitutional rights at a time when mob violence often has tacit support right from the top. By now, you must have seen how this crowd at a Jaipur park pulled an Uno reverse on Hindutva hooligans allegedly trying to intimidate couples on Valentine's Day. These thugs wearing saffron scarves and wielding sticks stormed into the park and started questioning the couples, demanding their IDs, and obviously tried to threaten and browbeat them because apparently love is against their idea of India. The women and men at the park courageously confronted them, questioned their authority, asked them who gave them the right to terrorize people this way with sticks, and even asked for their IDs in return. They rightly said that they would take legal action against such unwarranted intimidation. Now, we can't see this as just an isolated incident. This is young India saying enough is enough. And that was clear from the overwhelming response to this video online. Because from forcing people to chant religious slogans, harassing people simply for making a living, vandalizing shrines, to beating up men from minority communities on baseless allegations, this Jaipur incident is a reminder that no one has a right to take law into their own hands, even if the police watch silently. And the biggest weapons these goons have is our ignorance of law. Because under law, such acts by extremists amount to criminal intimidation, assault, outraging modesty, harassment, wrongful restraint, and even rioting, all of which is punishable under the Indian law. And the Jaipur residents stood their ground because they knew the law, and the vigilantes were forced to run away. When those responsible for upholding the law allow self-appointed moral vigilantes to dictate how citizens live, love, and assemble, it is on us citizens to reclaim our autonomy, our freedom of expression, and our right to peaceful assembly. It is on us citizens to reclaim an India that stands for love, dignity, and liberty, and an India governed by rule of law, not by intimidation and mob authority.
Hold on, guys. I'm reading something. Okay, no, I'm just, it's twitched a bit still here. No, seriously, I'm actually asking, is he still here? Because the thing that I read was what the, and I'll just, the research paper that he's trying to say. I know he hasn't read it. That's what I'm trying to show him. Yeah, and like he just literally went away the moment I've got this out for him. Born in Sweden to both parents, 1239. Born with Sweden to 176. Born with no parents in Sweden, 177. Born outside Sweden, this is the factor. But most of them, Swedish. .4%. Africa, 2.9%. Western countries, immigrants, 72.7%. The problem is with white people. Not even Eastern Europeans. There is a lot of anti-Swede anti-Polish sentiment in Sweden that Polish people in Sweden don't understand. But the point here is that most of them are born. Most of them are white people. All of their rape issues वगैरह is like white people mostly. So out of this, I can give you like also like there's some weird shit going on in Swedish statistics where they don't count repeat offenders. I don't understand why. It is counted as one. So it kind of overblows some of the statistics out here. Like it's very weird in Sweden. It's also weird in Poland. Oh, they still do. That's what I don't understand about some Poles, man. I try to explain to them that the offending factor. Okay, now go back and check on YouTube. I literally just pulled up the research paper for you. Jesus, how did you miss the one time I pulled up a research paper for someone? Read this, my guy. Read this. Read the paper. And then read about how the people are counted as well. Because there is an issue over there. It overblows some of the statistics inside. That is what I mean. When you have to be thinking critically with papers like this. Also, just being clear, born out of the country doesn't mean they are brown or Muslims. Check the paper. That's where they picked up the statistics from. The fuck is happening? What the fuck did I just watch? Fuck it. Anyway, where were we? We covered this. So apparently India has been transporting, or rather illegally detaining and sending children of Indian origin to Bangladesh on suspicion of being Bangladeshi. This is what we were saying when we were talking about like Mumbai using AI to send Indians, like to identify Indians from Bangladeshi. You can't, all of them are fucking Indians. These children are Indians. Their parents got detained in India and they were shipped off to Bangladesh. They have no one in Bangladesh right now. Literally no one. Because they are Indians. This is what is happening in India. This is the last phase of nationalistic policies.
আচ্ছা, তোমার মা বাবা কোথায় আছে? জেলে আছে। হাওয়ামনি। ও আচ্ছা, তোমার নাম কি? সুম্মা। আচ্ছা, তোমরা কোথা থেকে আসছো এখন? হোম থেকে। এটা কি ইন্ডিয়ার হোম থেকে? হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা, তোমার মা বাবা।
This is what happens with constant pressure to and constant cultural hegemony against a certain group of people. These are not Bangladeshis. These are Indians sent to Bangladesh. These are children. Again, sending children alone is illegal, for one. Their parents have been detained in India and they have been sent to Bangladesh. I don't know why, but the anti-Bangladesh sentiment has gone so far that they are sending Indians to Bangladesh in suspicion that they are Bangladeshis. They have done this before with Muslims. They have done this before with Dalits in Kerala and Mumbai. It is fucking annoying. It is fucking annoying to see and horrific. That's what I wanted to bring up very specifically. Also, in fun news, you're not talking about Nelia right now. We'll get to this eventually. In some fun news, I just wanted to talk about. We're talking about Kunal Kamara because he's still funny when he's doing this. So anyway, so he is currently entering the assembly. We will keep an eye on him as we go. This is not something that we are going to be too focused on because he can take care of himself there, for one. And second off, he's just funny. I just found this funny. So that's why it's here. I needed like 5 seconds.
अच्छा आराम से पहले तो आप गिर जाओगे आप रुको ठीक है मैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में मानता हूँ जब मुझे बुलाया जाएगा मैं आऊँगा मैं आज भी आया था आज नहीं हो पाया हियरिंग सुनवाई नहीं हो पाई कोई रीजन से शायद बहुत कुछ चल रहा होगा शहर में तो ठीक है जब वापस बुलाएंगे तब भी आ जाएंगे अब 10 मार्च बोला गया है तो 10 मार्च भी आ जाएंगे ठीक है मेरे लगने नहीं लगने से कुछ नहीं होता है जो भी उनके आरोप है उसके बारे में जब मेरे पास आरोप आएंगे मैं उसके बारे में अपना आंसर दे दूंगा
आप मुंबई में जो के ऊपर हमला हो सकता है
ये हमला है मेरे ऊपर इसके ये हमले के अलावा मेरे को कोई हमले का डर नहीं है
लेकिन मीडिया में
बोलो
आपके सपोर्ट में आई ना तब आपको इतना फुटेज भी मिला
अरे पर आप गिर जाओगे घूमते घूमते कैमरा लेते लेते
आप एक साइड आइए बात कीजिए 2 मिनट
एक मिनट मैं बंद करो आप मैं खुश हूँ
अच्छा
लेकिन जो सत्ताधारी है उनको आपकी बातें चुभती है क्या ऐसी वजह है कि उनको ये बातें सत्ताधारी को बातें चुभनी चाहिए ना क्यों नहीं चुभे तो और ऐसा कोई प्लान मैं बनाऊंगा तो मैं मीडिया को बता
Hey guys, wait, give me a second. Give me a second. I'll be back with you in 1 second. The thing is, as I've said this before multiple times, I am making reels as we go along because I have no time and I do not have an editor or the budget for one right now. Again, for people who do not know, I do work as a researcher on the side. Welcome to my life. Anyway, what was I doing exactly? No shit, did I just close this thing that I'm not supposed to? No, I did not. Yeah, why you sneaky? Okay. We are going to share quickly. Sorry guys, this needs to be done. This needs to be done now. I apologize to you greatly, not as much, but I should. But this still needs to be done. No, not. Okay, this is just once, like 5 seconds of silence, guys. Give me a second. Did this happen? Yeah. No, shit, where is shit. Why is this not? Oh, it's still processing. Okay. Fine. Anyway, let's just watch this. This is about so this was actually something New Moon sent on Discord, and I was like, that sounds very specific. And there was a video, so that's why we're watching this. कर्मा जैसा कुछ नहीं होता. Yeah. What the fuck did I just do?
In Nellie, in Assam, at least 2,191 Muslim settlers of Bengali origin were slaughtered, leaving 370 children orphaned and their homes in 16 villages destroyed. It is instructive that it took an unconscionable 42 years for the report of the Judicial Commission appointed to investigate this massacre to be finally tabled in the Assam State Assembly. This protracted delay is not random. It is integral to a conscious state project to erase memories and deny accountability for the pitiless crimes of mass slaughter of 1983. In 2008, to commemorate 25 years of the tragic massacre, the survivors of Nellie had invited me to sit with them in their distant, impoverished corner of the country. They spoke. And as they did, it was evident to me that no wounds had healed. How could they have, when the families of the survivors long given up hope of justice in their lifetime? Their words retained an urgency, as though they had only very recently suffered the unspeakable cruelties that they were testifying to not 25 years earlier. Some pulled up their clothes, exposing the frightening scars of attacks suffered a generation earlier. Hazra Khatun, with scars on her face of a dagger attack that she survived in 1983, sat on the ground before us and pointed at her empty lap. I was cradling my child here, she said in a low voice. They chopped him in two, down in the middle. A widow, Akil Jan Bivi, was far less calm. Her body revealed the insufficient mending from the attacks of 25 years ago. And we all saw that she had lost her psychological equilibrium. 11 members of her family were slaughtered in the massacre, and she acted out for us how the mob had attacked them, how she had cowered and hidden herself, how she was discovered, attacked and left wounded, and how she survived even though scarred and broken.
I'm supposed to do commentary on this. I don't want to. Whenever I hear something like what we are trying to avoid with today, like in India, this is what India is capable of. This is what they want to end up doing. This is something I cannot take.
In body and in soul for life. In his early 30s, Muhammad Monuruddin began to cry inconsolably as soon as he sat down before us. My brothers, sisters were all attacked, hacked into pieces, he said, as he recalled that day. Many others spoke of their profound loneliness. Noor Nahar Begum was 10 years old when the killings began. She tried to run away but was caught and badly wounded by her attackers. She had to be hospitalized for 2 months, and her mother and 4 siblings were murdered. They were butchered here in the place where we are standing today, she said, adding, I have found no peace of mind for the last 25 years. I need justice for my peace. Justice is important because it is such a terrible crime. I feel lonely. The forgotten massacre in Nellie in 1983 established a bloody trail of open state complicity in repeated traumatic bouts of ethnic cleansing and massacres, both in Assam and the rest of India. It was followed by similar state-enabled massacres in Delhi in 1984, Bhagalpur in 1989, Mumbai in 1993, which climaxed in Gujarat in 2002. The government gave the survivors of Nellie as little as 5,000 rupees compensation for each death, which contrasts, for instance, against 7 to 10 lakhs for survivors of the Sikh carnage, allocated a year later, 1984. Even that was a pittance compared to what a humane democratic state must feel bound to offer as reparation for those who have suffered the devastation of a massacre. $688 criminal cases were filed in connection with the Nellie organized massacre, and of these, 310 cases were charge-sheeted. Of the remaining 378 cases, these were closed due to police saying that they lacked evidence. But all 310 charge-sheeted cases were also dropped by the Assam Gana Parishad government as part of the Assam Accord. Therefore, not a single person has ever had to face even trial for these gruesome massacres. Some lives are clearly deemed by the state of little worth compared to others. But even in this disgraceful roll call of shameful impunity for hate massacres, Nellie...
Someone tell me what am I supposed to say here? How am I supposed to do commentary? How are we supposed to get the message out? How are we supposed to discuss? This thing has happened. This thing keeps happening. Unless people get off their asses and actually talk about this, this thing is going to keep happening over and over and over again. The death, the murder, the rapes, the oppression keeps going against minorities. No one is there to even talk about this, stop this. I didn't even know this had happened before today. And I am someone who thinks that, hey, I have at least a little bit reading about this. Thank you to The Wire for bringing this out. Thank you for New Moon for bringing this to my attention. Literally today, not even joking, in the morning.
Is the worst. I repeat, not a single person has been punished or even faced trial for one of the most gruesome communal massacres that free India has witnessed. Recalling again today the tears and the cries of the survivors of the Nellie Massacre, I wonder when the day will come when our rage and our compassion compel our police and courts to secure justice to the survivors of each of these mass tragedies. When indeed will we realize that we can be safe only by standing and caring together. We have the right to move on after a massacre only when the people who have been affected by that massacre, who have lost lives, who have lost loved ones, when they are able to move on, only then do we have the right to move on.
Anyway, I wanted to do something funny. I wanted to talk about this more. I want to talk about like all of this with Times Now and NDTV and what. Honestly, we are going to end it at the Nellie Massacre. Think about it. Think about how this shit has gone. Think about what we are doing and what we are talking about. And then come back. If you're new here, you can always join the Discord for a deeper conversation. Follow for more. Obviously, we are going to be here and we are always going to be here. And like, share, and subscribe, I guess. Yeah, I just got a bit clocked after talking about the Nellie Massacre. Anyway, good night. I'll see you Saturday. Tabak khair. Cheers.